doctor. Not good news. I have lupus, and I think I've had it for a while. It's just hard to talk about still. A surprise to me was that I also have a heart arrhythmia, which showed up on the EKG. So I got a sinus arrhythmia. I don't really know much about that. So we're gonna be doing more testing. I'm waiting for a cardiologist to call me. They said it should be in the next 3 days, which is like, okay, well, I'd rather like sooner than later. I had thought that was it, but it's one thing when you just think it is. It's another when you get that, yeah, that's what it is. And in a way, lupus is kind of like cancer, where you have to figure out what it's affecting, and to what degree, to help treat it. I'm hoping I'll get on some drugs that will put it in remission. Hi. But things have just been a lot harder for me. I've been keeping it kind of hidden. I've been having some heart problems. I thought I was just gonna get told, oh, you know, your magnesium's low, you know, you need to take some vitamins for your muscles. And my legs have been just constantly cramping and hurting. It just burns. My arms too, like just like eating popcorn, like my muscles just hurt, like cramp, and it's just, I don't know, it's just this constant weird pain that's hard to describe. I've had trouble swallowing for like the past 2 years, and I had to go to the emergency room it's like 3 months ago, I think, because I had food stuck in my esophagus. And people will say things like, well, you should just drink more water or something, but they don't understand, like, I literally could not swallow my own spit. It was physically blocked, and nothing was gonna go down. But Pepsi, I figured out Pepsi helps. That's what the one of the nurses taught me, and so I drink a lot of Pepsi when that's happening. And lately it's been better. But like a week ago, I was like eating. Well, probably 2 weeks ago is when it started. I was really nauseous, and I was just eating like mayonnaise on bread, and I would microwave it so the bread soaks in the mayonnaise. Just as like I'm just so nauseous. It's like the only thing that sounded good to me. Oh, dandy. Thank you. Yeah. I'll take more hugs. But that's the only thing that sounded good to me. And so my blood test did come back as I have higher than normal triglycerides. And they recommended eating a diet lower in cholesterol and exercising more. It was just sounded ridiculous, because then she said I had a heart arrhythmia, and then at the very end she's like, oh, by the way, your ANA came back and it's positive, so you have lupus. I was like, oh great. So I'm supposed to exercise more and eat when I'm so nauseous, you know. I'm like, you know, I'm like, if I have a heart attack, I want to have a heart attack surrounded by my animals. I don't want to have a heart attack in a hospital. I'll just die out here. It's like I'll curl up with these guys and just hug them and just, I don't know. Probably the goats for my cold dead hands anyway. I love these guys. I mean, you saw Dandy. She obviously is picking up on this, you know. They're so sweet. My dog noticed too. I was really upset. But I guess I'm just gonna live with it. I don't know how long I've had this. There's a lot of things like I have problems with. Gosh, like I take allergy medication. Like I self-regulate this issue I have with exercise, where when I'm exercising, especially if it's cold or hot outside, I get so itchy. Actually, like they call it like the allergy to exercise. People joke about it, but I'm like, and people think I'm crazy when I mention it, but I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like it feels like I get itchy. Sometimes I get actual visible hives wherever the muscles I'm using, so my arms or my legs usually. Then it starts to feel like I'm getting stung by bees or hornets. So I started taking allergy medication, and that really, really helped it. So I thought, okay, well, it's just something that I'll just do. When I was a kid, one day I woke up and I just saw millions of tiny flickering lights. Billions of tiny flickering lights. I have a hard time talking too. This is part of it, I guess. But I see billions of tiny flickering lights in my vision everywhere. Just tiny, 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 tiny dots. And I didn't know how to properly communicate it to people because I think I was probably like 5 or 6, maybe 6, maybe 7, I don't know. But I woke up with it one morning, and I've been kind of searching for what that is for a very long time. And I finally typed in the right combination of things on Google, and it is visual snow syndrome. So I have that. I don't know if that's related to lupus or anything like that, but I guess now I'll be taken seriously for a lot of these weird medical things I have, because lupus it causes a bunch of weird things. It's just like great, awesome. My swallowing thing, I believe, is the lupus has been attacking my esophagus, and I think, because it comes and goes. That's the weird thing is, you think these things would all be consistent, but they come and go. Joint pain comes and goes. My fingers feel like they're gonna pop out of place, comes and goes. Like, they all kind of are together. I had a rash all summer long on my arms at first. It was on my arms, and it didn't seem to matter whether I handled hay or not. If I showered, if I took allergy medication, didn't seem to matter. And then I got one on my thighs because I was moving hay with my dad, and I think my body just started reacting to itself, and I had a rash for over 2 months. And when I say rash, I mean itching at night uncontrollably. You wake yourself up while you're asleep, because I have these nightmares that I was itching myself to the point where I was bleeding. And then when I woke up, I realized I was bleeding a little. And it's like, you can't, what are you supposed to do while you're asleep? So itchy. And I had all of these bruises, and they just, after the rash went away, I still had bruises for like a month. And so that's one of the things I told the doctor, is like, I have all these bruises, and I don't know where they came from, and I can't remember. And I had these white dots on my fingernails. I don't know if you can see, but there's like one right in the middle there. There's a couple on my thumb. There's some more. I don't know if you can see, but I also have a black line running down my one of my nails, and I read that's lupus. Like, there's a lot of things I'll just type in, and I see lupus listed for everything, and that's why I started taking lupus. My uncle had lupus, and he had some sort of heart problem, and my grandpa had he just died of a heart attack after being in heart failure. So it's scary. I'm just hoping it's not anything that's kind of getting in the way of this. I have all these things I want to do. I'm really, but that's why I haven't been updating the YouTube channel much, is because I just don't feel good. It's also so hard to be in the moment and doing tasks that carry over into each other. It's just really hard, keeping track of things, multitasking. It's just, I forget things every day. I'm starting to get to the point where I can't remember where certain birds go, and I realize that after they're fighting. I'm like, oh shoot, you guys don't go in this pen. Sorry. And almost every day I either forget the boys' food, the goats, or I forget the food for the turkeys down there. I always do it, and it's something I used to have so ironed out in my head. I knew all this stuff, and now I'm like, did I give the goats grain or not? And then I'm falling. I just feel really weak. I'm behind on the hoof trims, and I'm going to try to do that this weekend with some help, because I need some help. When I bend over, I don't, my chest hurts really weird, and I'm kind of scared. So I need help with that. Hi. And Lizzie's really cold. Hi, girly. But we did a lot of work over the weekend to fix things. So not in here, but you see we put up a board for the goat house right there. Straw bales everywhere. We did a huge expansion for the boys down there. We put up plywood behind the girl shelters. We did a lot this weekend to help everybody out. And I've got a chicken I've been treating for sauerkraut. She's not getting better. It's been over 2 weeks now. I'm getting worried about her. I rescued a turkey. I pulled 2 acorns out of her mouth, attached to a 2-inch long stick stem from the tree, the acorn tree, the oak tree. I think I saved her in time, and it's been really hard to catch her because I haven't been feeling well. I just, like the first day I really tried to catch her, I almost passed out a few times, so I decided not worth having a heart attack over. I went inside and chilled out for a while, and I finally got her 2 days ago. I'm really proud of myself. I got her, and I think the only reason I got her though is because she's so weak. She actually couldn't evade me anymore. And so I grabbed her, pulled the acorns out of her mouth. It would have been so sad if she would have died from that, because I would have opened her mouth and seen what was the problem, and I would have been like, oh shit, we could have saved her life. But I got her, I gave her eggs and other things to try to help her out. She felt like a stuffed animal. Like her weight was like a stuffed animal. It felt like cardboard that was covered in skin and feathers. So she's deathly skinny. I was not sure she was going to make it in the morning because it was so cold. I brought her up to the new chicken coop, which I will show eventually. But I'm going to put this video up really quick and not really edit too much. So she made it through the night. I tried to make it so she was as warm as possible. And she's doing well every single day. She's up, but she's doing better. Her name is Pablo, but we renamed her Pablana. Well, I renamed her Pablana when she was little. She's Pearl's baby that she hatched by herself. It actually was like nesting with her in the nesting box and kind of like heating up the eggs if there was next to her. She hatched out its siblings. There's quite an age difference between them, but it was cute. So this one you saw my hand, that's why I'm pretty sure it's Pablo. Especially because Pablo was so ugly, I thought it was a Tom. That's why I thought it was a Tom. And this one is really ugly. It's the ugliest bird up. So I'm pretty sure it's Pablo. It's on my hand and everything, so it has to be her. I'm glad I saved her. I feel really good about it. But now I guess it's time to, do things with my health. I mean, I save a lot of goats and I do a lot of stuff with them, but now it's my turn. It's more expensive when it's me. It's a lot harder when it's me. But that just sucks. I'm hoping to get a website up soon. I've been editing it a lot. It's really hard to do though because my head's all fuzzy. But I really want to have t-shirts. I want to do a drop shipping business. But it'll be arcornranch.com. And at first I'll just have goats up. I have some goats for sale and things like that. I need to get the boys out of here. It's so fuzzy in my head. It's like I need to send in like their paper. Some of the goats like Neb, she's still not registered, and I just keep forgetting. It's so hard. I'm hoping to have t-shirts for sale on there eventually. I really want to do it, and I guess now I'll be putting in some Lupus stuff. But I'm hoping that people help support me with that. I know there are a lot of kind people in the world. It seems like I got a lot going on, and from the autism to Hashimoto's, heart issues now, lupus, I don't know, there's a lot of kind people out there, and I think a lot of people who want to help support me, so I want to do that. Just for my sake, if it helps, I'll use the money I make off of t-shirts to help do things to accommodate my illness days and improve the quality of life for me and the animals, because I feel really passionate about my goats. I love them. Turkeys, love them. Ducks, love ducks. Chickens, they're alright. They're good. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. Just a really weird day. I don't wish this type of feeling on anybody. You just wake up and everything just sort of feels different.